Hello everyone, Switched Over, and it's time for another review of My Little Pony Season 9, the episode Sweet and Smoky. I actually made a video, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, I don't know, something like that, about who could be Smolder's older brother. Since we didn't know who the brother was until now, there were only two candidates that seems almost could been either the brown dragon with the blue horns, which looks a bit sad, or Garble. I know that many that was not hoping it to be Garble, but all I can say is it is Garble. But to be honest, I was really surprised to know he was sensitive, and he was really good at poetry. Who could honestly believe that? Not me. I mean, this episode showed me both positive and negative side of this kind of behavior. And we have at least no explanation why Garble has been picking on Spike and basically anyone else over the course of time. Because he is acting as tough guy, but deep down he's just sensitive and soft guy. He didn't want to be bullied by other dragons, so he acts as a bully. Even he doesn't want to be that, he wants to just be left alone or some of those other things. But the episode itself, well, not that it's the same much that seeing Smolder received a message from her family, or at least I think it was either family or from Amber, the Dragon Lord, telling that her brother has been sad over time. But Smolder didn't even mention on her travel there with Spike and Fluttershy to see that Garble was her brother until a bit later on. But seeing even Fluttershy's reaction to see that it was going to be the Dragon Hatchlings season, and she made this adorable cute face when she talked about it. It won't surprise me if those part of cute face will be a meme afterwards. Wouldn't surprise me. And seeing Twilight's reaction that Smolder will be away from school for about a week. But I have to agree with Twilight. Give her allow her to go to Dragonlands to visit her brother, and also at the same time to see more just focused on that particular problem. But even to see how Twilight was actually allowing her to go home with Spike and Fluttershy, at the same time both to help her brother, also to get some more information about the dragon's hatchling season. Since much of the dragon's culture is still much of a mystery for Twilight or any pony kind. But even though I would never expect anyone as Twilight to allow them to go so fast. But I can say though, this season has been really much surprising with much more information and even so much deep part of this. Even if that is going to be the last final season of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. But here's both the positive and negative part of this episode. The negative part is that Garble is trying to still picking a Spike, but that was after Smolder finds out that he had been picking on Spike, which made her angry. And even when she met her brother with Spike, after that she found out at least that the other dragon started picking on him or something, on Garble. and that she tried to act brave, and she even grabbed one of the dragons and said, "Wanna fill it out?" or something. She, like, not a threat, but at least more as a warning. That is a positive side. Seeing how much she protects her older brother, even the other dragons are probably neither could have been like, I don't know, mid-20s or something, and that they would be able to pick evil, would be able to defeat Smolder with ease. But she was tough enough to stand up for her brother, even grabbing one of them and saying, "Stop doing it," which is a positive good side, I know. But the other part of the negative side is that the other dragon is still picking on Garble over course of the episode, even that he tries to act tough enough to rough it off, which is also a positive side. Not to get them out of his skills, but even to see how some interaction between Fluttershy and Amber, revealing that the hatchlings, the eggs, hasn't even been hatched yet. And which is surprising for Amber, since she has no idea what to do, since her father never told her any about some of this important duties as a Dragon Lord. I know that many wonders how would she be able to control the Dragonlance if she doesn't have any such information or knowledge how to rule his entire kingdom. But she has help from Twilight and Spike and her other friends make sure that the peace between Ponykind and dragons are kept in peace. And ever since that happened, that Amber became a Dragon Lord, it hasn't been much any problem between the dragons or the Ponykind, which is a great thought. But otherwise, info that Amber finds out that the eggs won't be hatched because the magma, or the lava flow, the underground lava river or lake, hasn't been hasn't been emit any heat to the ground because the old eggs is laying in some sort of valley or kind of some sort of small holes. They're supposed to be heating from underground to make sure the eggs are hatched. But it seems some of the dragons had been direct some of the lava to another, I don't know, some mountain range so they could have swimming around without knowing the consequences on the eggs, which they didn't know until later when Spike finds out when he touched the ground seeing it was cold. And that the eggs were cold, that's one of the reason they wanted to hatch. And knowing that Spike wanted to suggest they could took the eggs to another location, but when Amber said that the eggs won't even survive that, since there are too many, and even that they're so fragile, which I could understand. Like she acted as a mother that, in a way that she didn't want to have any of the eggs be hurt or even damaged because she wants the new generation of dragons to survive. But with help of Spike and Amber and Fluttershy, they managed to find out what happened to the river or the lava, and with help from Garble. Then when they find out Garble's very actually good in poetry and even using bongo drums and had this outfit, like this hat and this shirt is also like basically the same of French design of it. But seeing how much he loves poetry, ever since he moved away and he had to hide his poetry sessions from the other dragons. But over this, seeing how much Garble using his talent in poetry to make the other dragons laugh, to seeing their laughing fire actually was hot enough to make the eggs hatch. And that was perfect in moment. I can also see that how much the dragons itself was picking on to Garble, thinking he was getting soft, not being tough enough. I mean, what is going on here? No one shouldn't be picked, no matter what happens, or no matter if you like poetry or if you like just having friends. So I would say those three other dragons, they shouldn't be considering as friends if they're still doing that to Garble. I mean, who wouldn't have those as a friends if they're still picking on Garble after they think he's been getting soft? But the most of all this episode I can say about, seeing how much both Smolder is trying to help her brother getting off this bowling, and after all of this, even to seeing how much the other dragons just still picking on Spike and even Garble, but he's still trying to act as tough guy. But at the same time, we're seeing how much Fluttershy and Amber is trying to find a way why these eggs are even hatched yet. All I can say, it was a really touching moment seeing how Amber is like, coochie coochie goo. I mean, it's hilarious. Even if this episode has both negative and positive side, sure. And then seeing how much Smolder and Garble reacting together, even that his parents kicked him out when he got in a mold effect, but still seeing them are both still so close, it is a touching moment. Seeing that she still likes his poetry, and he tries to hide it from even from Fluttershy, but he admits that he is good at poetry. But after the Spike helped Fluttershy and Ember to find out why the eggs are even hatched yet, to discover that the eggs won't hatch because the ground is getting colder. It turned out that some of the dragons, some of Garble's friends, had actually been direct the lava flow from the underground lava river lake from that so they can swim in the lava themselves. And which turned out the eggs won't hatch because of that. I mean, that is unbelievable. But the management help from Garble when he's poetry acting, when he had his French style hat, his shirt, and doing his bongo drums to poetry. So the other dragons start laughing hard enough that the fire goes hot, so hot enough so the eggs would hatch. But before they ever could even start mocking him again, Amber stopped them and declared Garble as a hero. If it wasn't for him, the eggs probably wouldn't have been hatched at all. So they all agreed. And they also want to learn about poetry. Even Amber asked Garble to teach her about poetry, which surprised him, but he said sure. So overall, I think this episode couldn't be much worse than I thought. At least seeing that Garble is Smolder's brother, I'm surprised to see that, but I still like this episode. So I will give this an A+ rating. And if anyone has your own opinion, your thoughts about this episode, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, this is Switch Down Below, over and out.